of x, that is sine x plus cosine squared x minus 7 over cosine x. When you differentiate this, so find the derivative. Well, how are we going to do this? Okay, how? We may use a quotient rule or what? Or can you simplify this function as is over here by dividing everything by cosine x, and then let's see, instead of differentiating first, divide and then differentiate. Well, obviously this use applying quotient rule is a lot more complicated than this divide and differentiate idea. So let's pursue this way. So what we are going to do is, well, let's divide. Well, we have 3 terms in numerator and the denominator is cosine x. So can you say this is sine x over cosine x plus cosine squared x over cosine x minus 7 over cosine x. Well, now your trig identities or trig formulas coming in here. Sine x over cosine x, isn't this tangent x? Cosine squared x over cosine x is very simple. That is cosine x. The minus 7 over cosine x. Well, when you do that, that means 7 times 1 over cosine x, and the reciprocal of a cosine function is a secant function. So we can write this one as negative secant x. Well, the key idea is we do not want to keep it as a rational expression or like over here. We do not want to keep the denominator cosine x. Okay, so that's why then by writing this way, we do not have any fractions, therefore we do not expect to use a quotient rule. So f of x is this. Now f prime of x, the derivative of f of x is derivative of tangent x, which is secant squared x. Derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. And the derivative of secant x is negative 7 times. Derivative of secant x is secant x times tangent x. So very neatly we can do so. Okay, so I want you to remember that whenever you have some trig functions, always think first is like, well, can you use some trig identities and then rewrite this function and in a simpler form? Okay, it works very nicely over here. I want you to take a note on this. Some people think this f of x is like what? Over sine x plus cosine x and then minus 7. What is going on here? Of course, this is not true. Okay, what is not true over here is cosine squared x over cosine x. That means this, you divide only this part, not over here, not over here. That is not possible. When you divide it, you are going to divide everything in numerator by cosine x. Therefore, this is not true. And another thing is, when you differentiate 7 over cosine x, so let's differentiate this one separately. Is this same as 7 over negative sine x? Is it true or not? The question that is in question mark, which is not true, false. The reason being is, when you say this, well, that means you just conveniently differentiate just cosine x and then make it negative sine x over here. Well, if you look at this one as a 7 over cosine x, you must use quotient rule, because this is in a quotient form. So you cannot just put this one as in a conveniently like, okay, I know how to differentiate the cosine x. So the derivative of cosine x is negative sine x. I will do that. That is not true. That means it is like you are saying 1 over x is, oh, I know how to differentiate x, so that is going to be 1 over 1, which is 1. Is it true? Of course it is not true. It's a false. Okay? So, as you see, you cannot differentiate just denominator by itself. Okay? If you want to keep it this form, you are going to use a quotient rule, or you are going to use a power rule correctly. And this way, 7 over cosine x, either you are going to change this one as like a negative 7 secant x, like this, or if you want to keep it this way, you are going to use a quotient rule. Okay, so this is a very common mistake. That is a false. And f of x, even before you start to differentiate, just rewriting this, that is false. So I want to point out these two parts. Okay.